Get ready for Pinterest-inspired projects so easy you'll want to make some for every birthday, holiday, and special event. And at Dollar Tree prices, you could definitely afford to do that. And as always, DIY treats. Welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. Hey guys, it's Aneka and welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. So today I have a fun project for you. Me and some of my favorite girls on YouTube got together and we're all doing our own take on a Pinterest project. And we chose the cake plate that you guys have been seeing floating around. And it was perfect timing because my little one was having a birthday. So I decided to make my theme pink unicorns. Now, if you don't want glittery pink unicorns around your house, that's okay. This project can be tailored to any season, really. You could do bunnies for Easter, or you can do pumpkins for Thanksgiving. Whatever you want, this project will come together easily and look beautiful and just stun your guests. So I really hope you enjoy it. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. And everyone, at the end of this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. It goes so far in helping my channel and I'm just so grateful for the love and support that I get from each and every one of you. Oh, and one more thing. So today I'm showing you guys some of my new favorite art supplies that I actually used in this project. And those are Arteza art supplies. So I got these fine glitters which come in all these amazing colors and are just perfect for my project for my little one. And these metallic acrylic paints, which you guys have seen these in a few projects before because I couldn't wait to break into them and I've used them and been amazed by them already. I also got these odorless glassboard markers and I can't wait to break into these as well. So if you think you might want some, I actually have a discount code for you guys so you can get an amazing price and get some of these products for yourself. So be sure to head down to the description box and get that link. Okay, that's it guys. Let's get started. Okay guys, let's get ready to craft. I'm going to start out by making this can be a flower pot. I'm going to use it to hold utensils for my little one's birthday. And I also want to make it so that my kids can use it for art supplies and different things like that in their playroom, which is completely going to match this color scheme. So I got these canvases from the Dollar Tree and once again, I had a hard time getting these off. One of my sweet viewers told me to try some needle nose pliers, which I did, but I still basically had to pry it off with scissors. I did eventually get it off, and once I did, I'm using white chalk paint to paint over the whole thing. Now you can use any color you'd like. I think this white looks great. I'm doing this for my girls' room, so I'm going to add pink accents, but if you did white with wood beads in it, it would give that beautiful farmhouse feel. Once I've got that completely painted, I'm going to grab these beads that I got from Michael's. They were $9.99, and then of course I used my 40% off coupon, and they are a ton of beads. So I separated them out. They have 3 sizes within that package, and I decided to use the medium sized beads. I placed them all around my frame just to see how many I would need. Once I knew how many I needed, I was ready to add the glitter. Now, there are so many colors in this Arteza package. I knew I wanted it to be pink because my daughter asked for a pink unicorn party. So I'm going to grab some different shades of pink to put all over my beads. Now, you guys, if you're doing this for your house and you are not into pink glitter, you could leave these beads the color that they are, or you could do another more neutral color, like maybe a cream or even a green might look nice. But I'm going to use some glitter and just glam it up for my daughter's birthday. I'm going to take about 1/3 of the beads. You could definitely count this out if you want to. I like to live on the wild side and I'm just going to eyeball it. So I put all of my beads into a plastic container and then I put some glitter into a plastic baggie. Now the good thing about doing this is whatever glitter does not stick to the beads, I can just return to the jar and use for later. I grabbed some of this spray adhesive, and here you see me spraying this, but you probably need to use at least 3 times as much as I did, which I figured out in later trials of doing this. Once I sprayed my beads all over, I put them into the bag and just rubbed them around and tried to get glitter all over every part of the beads. Now, This was kind of messy. There was glitter all over the place, but it definitely stayed more contained doing it this way than if I had just tried to pour the glitter right on top. So I did the same process for all 3 of the colors of beads I had, and then I decided that I needed to do a second layer of adhesive just to hit some of the spots that didn't get it the first time. So I sprayed the beads, rolled them around, and you will see some of the glitter coming off on this part, but it is okay. You're getting adhesive all over, and in the end it will be nice and covered. So then I just returned them back to the bag and gave them another rub inside of the glitter. You guys, this glitter was so fine. It was getting all over the place. So right now my craft room is extra glam for anyone who comes to visit. So once all that was completed, I needed a bottom for my box. Now I did get one of the seasonal frames from Dollar Tree, and I was going to just use a box cutter and cut it down in order to make my bottom, but then I realized that some foam board would be a lot easier to use and attach, and since this is for my kids, I thought that would be good enough. If you're going to do this for decor for your house, I think I would go ahead and use a wood frame. I think it would just look a little more finished and it would sit a little bit flatter. Of course, it is up to you. Also, I think if you use wood, it would be a little more sturdy if you were going to put something heavier than what I put in mine. Once I got the general shape cut, I just trimmed it up and I was ready to glue it onto the bottom of my frames. Now I'm ready to add my beads. I decided I wanted to do kind of an ombre pattern going around from darkest to lightest with my beads. So I took them out of the glitter, gave them a little tap to get any extra glitter off of them, and then I just used my hot glue gun to attach them to my frames. Now I used a popsicle stick to kind of line it up in the beginning to make sure that they were nice and even. After I did a few though, I realized that it was okay to just eyeball the positioning of these beads. So here you see me using the popsicle stick. I'm just pushing it forward to make sure that they end up in a straight line and they're not kind of zigzaggy. But as I practiced, it got a lot easier to make them nice and neat in a row. So you can decide, do you want it to look a little more perfect and be all in a row, or sometimes I feel like some of those imperfections give it a little more of that handmade feel and it looks like it wasn't made by a machine. So it depends on the project how picky I want to be about these things, so you decide what you think is going to look best for you. Now some of the beads still had maybe a tiny little spot that wasn't covered, and that was totally okay. That is where I either put my dab of glue to glue it onto the frame, or I just made sure that that little part was pointing to the back and no one would ever see it. Once I had it all glued down, I absolutely loved the look of these little glitter balls, but there was glitter all over my box, so I just wiped some of that glitter off. Anything that had stuck to my frame box, I just wiped it off a little bit to make sure that it wouldn't stick permanently. Next, I wanted to be sure that I didn't end up with glitter all over my house. So I just came back with a sealer and dabbed some onto my balls. Now I did notice that if I didn't have enough of the sealer on my sponge, it would pull some of the glitter off. So make sure that your sponge is nice and saturated while you do that. And here I have the finished project. There are a few places where I needed to go back and touch up, but for the most part, that glitter was sealed in there and will not be making it all over my house. Thank goodness. Now I'm just going to come back with the second frame that I painted white, and I'm just going to place it right on top. I love how this has kind of that farmhouse feel, but with a little bit of pink glitz and glamour for my daughter. I can come back through and just paint up any spots that need a little attention. And I got these plastic bottles from Dollar Tree. I'm using them to put utensils in from my daughter's birthday, but I can put crayons, pencils, anything in them, and I don't have to be afraid that my daughters will break the glass mason jars. Next, I needed to make some cake plates and places to put some treats for my daughter's birthday. So I started out with these plates. I got them from Michael's. They were either $1.50 or $2, but I did use a coupon. I had candlesticks from the Dollar Tree, and I also bought some little unicorns on Amazon. I'll be sure to link them below. Now these pink plates I got from Walmart. They were 50 cents each for a plate and a bowl. I'm also going to use a candlestick and another unicorn. Both of these will be painted nice and pink for my daughter's birthday. Now I want the unicorn to be extra special, so I'm using some of these Arteza metallic paints. I'm going to paint it pink, but it's going to have kind of a metallic feel to it. To make the paint adhere a little bit easier, I'm going to start out by covering the unicorn with this chalk paint. That'll make it a little easier for the acrylic to stick to this plastic. Then I'm going to come back through with my pink metallic acrylic paint and paint all over the unicorn. It took me about 3 coats to get nice even coverage. Now for my plates and candlesticks, I wanted to go for a monochromatic feel. So for one stand, I'm going to use this light pink, and I covered all the plates and candlesticks in the same spray paint color. I'm going to use my E6000 to attach my candlesticks to the cake plates. Now, you guys, I wasn't sure how tall I wanted to make this, and I actually should have put one plate as the base and then started with the candlestick. You'll see what I mean when you see the final project, but I just wasn't sure at the time how tall I wanted it to be. So I attached the first candlestick to the cake plate, and I used the smaller end to attach to the plate. On this one, I'm going to use the larger end of the candlestick to attach to the bottom of my plate. I just eyeballed where the middle was. Of course, you could also use a ruler if you want to be sure that you're right in the middle. Then I attached the 2 pieces together. Next, I want to add 1 candlestick right on top because this is where my unicorn is going to be standing on. So I'm going to use the candlestick upside down once again because that'll give me a nice wide base to put my topper on. Now for this unicorn, I used Aztec gold. It looks like a statue to me. I absolutely love it. My daughter wanted a unicorn, but of course you could do a bunny or really anything you want to put on top of your tiered tray or serving tray, whatever you want to use it for. This would look great right on top, and I think it really makes a statement. And if my daughter ever wanted to make a statement, it's definitely I'm a pink unicorn princess. Now for my next one, I was planning to put this bowl on it, but the spray paint actually did not work out as I wanted it to. But that ended up being a happy mistake. I glued my candlestick onto the bottom of my plate, flipped it upside down, and I had a beautiful cake plate. Now you could leave it just like this if you wanted to, but of course this is a pink unicorn party. So I painted the horn and the hooves on my unicorn that Aztec gold just to add a tiny bit of contrast, and I put the unicorn right in the middle. I thought this looked really great because I knew I was going to make cupcakes, and also after I get done with this, this would be a great place for my kids to keep some of their stuffed animals that they like to pull out and play with, the smaller ones that would be on display in their playroom. So I added my unicorn right in the middle. And once again, I love how this came out. It's so cute. And now it's time to eat. I'm going to start out with a box of Funfetti cake mix and just make it per the instructions on the back of the box. I'm going to use some cupcake liners and then some cake ice cream cones. Now I'm going to put them in and then put my Funfetti cake mix right inside of my ice cream cones. This gives them a little bit of stability for when you're moving them around the kitchen. If you have a mini muffin pan, that would work beautifully too. Now I'm going to pop them into a 325-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Next, I'm going to take a can of icing and separate it into 3 parts and add food coloring. Next, I'm going to get some mini marshmallows and some pink sanding sugar. I'm going to cut my marshmallows on the diagonal so that I make little triangles, and the part where you cut it should be sticky enough for you to dip into your sanding sugar and have a little unicorn ear. Once that's done, I'm going to work on my unicorn frosting. So I'm sorry for the camera angle here, guys. There was a lot of people in my kitchen and I was a little closer than I thought I was, but you'll be able to see how I did this. I added an icing bag into a cup to hold it upright, and then I put the different colors of my icing along the sides of the icing bag. So I really tried to get all 3 of the colors to be on the sides of the icing bag so that they would all come out at one time in a swirling pattern. Once my funfetti ice cream cones were done and out of the oven, I realized why the recipe says do not overfill. They spill right over the sides. However, I did have 3 perfect ones from my 3 magical little unicorns. So now it's time to ice them. I'm going to just pipe on the icing, and as you can see, you get this fun swirled pattern with your colors. Next, I'm going to add my ears into the icing. And then for the horn, I'm going to use a birthday candle. And here's my little unicorn. I'm going to add on some sweet little eyes with some cute eyelashes. And all I'm using here is some cookie icing that I got from the store. I'm all about going the easy route when it comes to these Pinterest projects. And here we have it, my little unicorn birthday party for my daughter. I think all of these projects came out so beautifully, and a lot of times Pinterest projects are more trouble than they're worth, but these were easy and beautiful, so I hope you'll try them. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to check out my friends' videos. I'll link the playlist down in the description box below, and I'll have a 10% off coupon code for you if you want to buy anything site-wide from Arteza. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week when we repeat it all again.